Good morning, classmates. Today I will show you the steps on how to prepare the ship from code ship to engines pull ahead. So now that our simulator is open, we will press F5. We will set the initial conditions first. So we'll set it to full shift. Now we are going to set our operating condition, so we might as well set this fast, the dynamic response, very fast, and should be the damage very fast. Now we will press F7. I will show you two situations. One is that we are on shore power. Number two, we are connected to our emergency generator. So number one, we run this. Number one, we will connect to shore power, electric power plant. Now, as you can see, this is the shore supply. There is a cable in and it is now in out position. We have our phase here, phase indicator, and is our breaker or circuit breaker for us to connect to short supply. We also have this paranomic panel directory. In our synchronizing panel, we have this short supply. So if you press this one, connect, then we go back to our electric power. The cable is already in position, but it's on the wrong phase. So we'll go back the synchronizing again, change the phase, then we connect this one. We connect our circuit breaker. We go back to electric power plant. It is now connected, but our bus tie is not yet on the position, and also our emergency bus bar is also not connected. So you can connect this one here in. Then the breaker for the emergency bus bar should automatically connect if we put this breaker in the position. Now all we have to do is to switch on all the breakers or the loads that we will be needing. So we can switch this on because we are already in short power. Now also to this main switchboard, actually you can also access them here. Switchboard feeders. What we have just turned on in the emergency switchboard, now we are going to switch on our main switchboard. Main switchboard starters. This one in. Now we have successfully connected our power to shore, and now we are our machineries are ready to start with shore power. For example, the seawater system is, if you line this up, you can already start the pumps. Now I will show you how to start with our emergency generator. I'll have to set the initial condition again to code shift. We have to press F2 first to freeze and set the initial conditions to code shift again. Then press F1 to run. Then operating condition, you should also set this one. Press F7. Now if you can see, we will not be using the short supply. We'll try to connect through our emergency generator. Now go to your emergency generator, take a look at the piping diagrams if it is already already. Now we don't have to move anything here, everything is already set. We just have to start the engine. We will know that the engine is ready and stable when this power indicator is already stable, and this one already lights up. Now it is already running, as you can see. There's also an instance that I'm going to stop this one. There's also an instance that you can also use this hand pump, this, to build up starting pressure for the accumulator. Once it reaches the minimum pressure for starting, you can also start the immersion generator here. I think 150 bars is already enough, so we'll try 150. Yeah, it already started. Now that our emergency generator is already starting, we'll go back to our electric power plant. We'll try to connect it to the emergency bus bar. So turn on this voltage controller. We can set the frequency. We usually use 60 Hz frequency, so we lower this to 60, as close to 60 as possible. 60, that's fine. 60.1, that's fine. And we can connect it here. We can connect the breaker here. Then we go to all our emergencies, our emergency panel, emergency switchboard. We have these feeder panels. Actually, we can set the lightings first. So busy transformer, we can turn on the lights. Then for the battery powered or the battery backup systems, you can turn this on. You can already turn this on. Now, before, we can also turn this on already because it's tapped in our emergency switchboard. Also, the main switchboard. We have our engine room air supply fan number 2 as our emergency fan. Also this one, and the access stand. The number 2 is assigned and it's connected to our emergency switchboard. All these other breakers cannot yet be connected. Because we are still in our emergency generator. Now, here's the trick. So you can easily change over the cooling seawater later. You can turn on all the breakers here, just like we did during our short hour. But this one, all of these feeders doesn't have a voltage yet. It doesn't have power yet. Indicated here. Now we are just trying to turn this on so that later we change over to our main generator. We will not have any trouble starting pumps. Now that we have connected our emergency feeders, the first thing to do for me is, I guess, to set up the seawater system or cooling system first. So open the walls. How many colors do you need? This one, the steam condenser. We will be using this later, but also for the generators, the coolers, the circulating line is our temperature control valve, so we can set this to on. We can already set the spots actually, so that we can have the power later for our main generator from our all other controllers will be activated. Now that we have already lined up our seawater system, we can start this pump. Oh no, we can start the auxiliary pump first because this is already tapped in our emergency feeders, while this one is from the main switchboard, which doesn't have power yet. The same goes with our freshwater system. We will line this up. We can already switch it out. We can line this up. Line up everything. The trick is to line up everything. So that later you will no longer have to go back here just to open this wall. So we usually have a preheater, we have stimulator, we have inlet valve or main engine cooling. Open the aerator or the makeup valve from the expansion tank, or the vent wall from the expansion tank. This one, the outlet valve will come back to. We don't need the freshwater generator yet. Although it is already in low, we still have the capacity to circulate freshwater here. Oh, open this one too. This is for the auxiliary line. Now that our freshwater system is already lined up, one thing we need is also our starting air system. Now this emergency generator, every air compressor is tapped in our emergency feeders, so we can build up pressure in our emergency air reservoir. Go to your panel directory, pump compressor controller, then put this to on. To auto for the emergency air compressor. Now we are charging compressed air to our emergency air reservoir. The Z here indicates water contents, so we might as well drain this one. We don't want any water to get in our starting system. Now, one thing before we forget, we should check our generator, the generator we want to start. So I'll go check our DG1. You can also check this in your starter system by clicking this one. Now it's the blue boil is low, so we'll have to charge slow boil because we have set the dynamics to fast and levels to fast. Levels will get high easily, so watch out. Now let's line up the lube system oil. Use the filter one, then I'll try to put this to auto. This is the priming pump. It's the little final pump. We can switch this preheater to auto, of course. Everything is all lined up, nothing to touch here. Then the fuel system, I'll use the number 1 filter. Then this is quick closing valve for our safety in case of fire, or we don't want any fuel to go to your generator. You can close this one. This is the quick involved. If you click this, it can be averted here. So let's go back to our DJ number 1. Let's open this, and we are now on our service line. Go to open this above, open this. So we might as well open this up. Now that our fuel system is lined up for the generator number 1, also the lube oil is already in priming mode. Freshwater system or the cooling system, you don't have to touch anything here. We'll just have to wait for the starting air to be enough. So I might as well open this and this. So we'll wait for this to be enough before we start this engine. So guys, please don't be confused with these main switchboard starters, feeders, and emergency switchboard. Our emergency switchboard is connected to our emergency generators. So whatever you can see here, you can start them when your emergency generator is on service, but all the others, this one, are on your main switchboard, which means that you can only have power for this if your main generator is connected to the bus. So please don't get confused on that. Let's check it out. I think 11.53 is already enough to start this engine, so we'll try to start this one. If this running indicator becomes stable, it means that we have successfully started our generator engine number 1. By the way, before I forget, we have set this our auditory sound system. Now let's go back there. Our engine is now running, you can hear it. Now that our engine is running, we can connect our main generator arc, generator number 1, to our now here's the situation here. Once your generator runs, your emergency generator is already disconnected to the bus. These pumps, the auxiliary pumps, will be turned on. All 4 will stop. It will turn off. It will stop operating. But you can immediately switch on these pumps so that it will be the ones running for your cooling system. Same goes with your heat water system. This accelerator pump will stop once your generator is disconnected from the bus. So you have to hurry and turn this on, so that they will be the ones, this pump will be the one to be on service through your seawater system. Turn on these voltage controllers. We'll try to put this to 60 as possible. Now we'll have to go to our synchronizing panel, and then we go to switch this to BG1, switch this to B1, then we can click start, and our emergency generator will automatically disconnect, and our diesel generator will be connected to the bus or to the bus bar. Now breaker is connected, then there will be alarms, means water line pressure, because our auxiliary seawater pump is already stopped, so we have to start this pump. Also, freshwater system, start the high temperature controller box and start by. We will be needing this one, but we have to once again check our mains before starters. Now these ones are not just connected to the bus, so we'll try to check our electric. Now here the main bus bar 2 is not connected to the main bus program, so if we will have our power to the main switchboard feeders, so we have to turn this one in. We are now running on our main generator. So that's it, guys. I'll just end this here, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.